going on, guys? WadeX98 here with another Smite patch notes. So today I'm not joined by anyone because, well, it was supposed to be Fang and he kind of ran out of gold and we couldn't do what we needed to do with that. So, and I think he's gone right now actually. But yeah, so as you can tell, this is the 3.11 patch, which is kind of weird how they presented it today because it was pre-recorded. So some of this may stick, some of it may not. There was some that's not in the actual patch notes on Twitch at today, I guess you could say. And yeah, so we're just going to jump right on into it. This patch is called Expelled from Hell, based on, as you can tell, Expelled Hell, as you can see right there, and or the Pon Pon patch if you actually watched the patch notes video. So let's just jump right on in. So first off, of course, we have Expelled Hell, which we'll listen to. We'll look at the skin first, and then we'll listen to the voice back. As you can see, we have the light version of Hell, kind of just normal schoolgirl, and then of course the dark side is zombified, and the zombie actually does have this kind of like effect that kind of bounces around and stuff. It's a very twitchy, very weird skin. It's very interesting the change in between these two, and I know they've had probably a lot of Hell concept, but I've never actually seen one of these. It's an interest. I'm going to be interested to see what how Fang likes this, because Fang is a big Hell player, and how the community reacts to the skin. It's cool. It's definitely a interesting skin concept, and they did pretty good with it. And so we'll go ahead and listen to the voice back.
Let's rid them of their pathetic lives!
Whoa, that's a little dark, don't you think?
So the first part, of course, was the Dark Hell, and the second part, which was like, oh, that's a little extreme, don't you think? It was the light version. So of course you have that. Next we have Sun Wuzing, Sun Wukong, which is, he's basically a Shaolin monk, elemental Shaolin monk, I guess you could say. So he is the base of the Earth power, and his transformations change him into different ones. You have the Fire Tiger, the Air Eagle, and the Water Ox. And all of his effects have kind of the green elemental look to them. He very strong, very cool skin. It's interesting. I don't know. When I first saw this, I went, "Hey, it's Tien." But yeah, there's not much else I can talk about the skin. It's a very basic. You can kind of just tell the what it is on here. His bow staff is transformed into the bow staff with like this rock on it, the same thing that his arms and his feet and his tail have been turned into. So it's an interesting skin, pretty cool. But just another one of those skins where it didn't really see it coming. Does nothing really fit with any of the other skins. Like, it fits with the Shaolin monk, I guess, monkey. But it's kind of the first of an elemental line if they wanted to do elementals. Very different, I guess you could say. We'll go ahead and listen to this voice back.
I will punish my enemy's foolish aggression.
And that is Sun Wuzing, Sun Wukong. Now we'll move on to the third installment into the dandy / gentleman, I guess you could say, team. And this is Duke Dandelion and her. And yes, it's Dandelion. Okay, so as you can see, is her, basically giving him a mustache, giving him suited up, and his spear is actually the staff. So in this, he does not actually use the glove, but all of his effects are use the staff. Of course, you throw the staff as your basic attack. You throw the staff in all of your, almost every single one of your, let's see, your impale and your ultimate. Your leap is kind of the jump with it. All of the effects have kind of the coins. Now, the only thing that I was not happy about in this skin was that when you brought up the pillar, it was still sand under the pillar. Hi-Rez missed a perfectly good chance to put coins in that. Just have a swirl of golden coins or something like that. It's just, I found it sad. Like Gold Fury coins. I found it sad that they weren't able to. They did not do that. That is my only thing about the skin. We'll go ahead and listen to the Voice back.
A little blood sport to pass the time, shall we?
Let's listen to this again. It's hilarious.
A little blood sport to pass the time, shall we?
Okay, so that is Duke Dandelion and her, yes, and all of his bills are Benjamins. So next one we have is Squirrel Squad Ratatasker, which is basically Aviator Ratatasker, which I'm surprised they didn't go with the flying rat Ratatasker or something. And yeah, basically it's just Ratatasker with an aviator jacket and his little aviator helmet and goggles on. We didn't actually get to see any effects. I guess the effects didn't change much. I'd like to see the bomb implemented somewhere. Maybe write it down from his tree or something. But we didn't get to see any effects, so I'm not real sure if that is implemented anywhere or if that's just card art. So we will see. They said it's like a 2.5 tier skin, which is a little bit different. It's kind of like a tier 2, kind of like a tier 3. I'm guessing it's going to be a tier 3. In that aspect, but because it does have a voice pack. And yeah, so let's go ahead and listen.
You're about to witness some aviation history, baby.
So that is Squirrel Squad Ratatasker. Woo! Okay, next up we have Centurion Mercury, which is a tier 2 skin for Mercury, so we'll go ahead and look at that. So basically, basic tier 2, it actually kind of held to the basic tier 2, just more armor, just more wings, just looks like he's ready for war. A little more than his just normal stuff, so I like this skin, I kind of like the design, it works for him, and I'm still surprised I haven't seen more Mercuries with the entrance of Speed Camp back into the meta, but we'll see. We'll see. But this is going to be an interesting skin to deal with. Like I said, I'm not much of a tier 2 guy, even on my own gods. I'm not much of a skin guy unless I get it from a chest anyway, or a free roll. But this is it's a good skin. I like this skin. And this skin's okay. I don't care about that. This one's good. I like it. This is a good skin. I just don't know where it's going to fit in. I don't know if they're going to expand on the elemental kind of thing. And this is a good skin. I like it. Just not sure where they got it from, I guess. So, dang it, I clicked on the wrong one. So, next up, as you can see, that is a Centurion Mercury. Goes back to the Roman mythology there. Kind of like Hercules' name, I forgot what it was called. Legion Hercules. Next one, we have Constable Moosejaw Chiron. And of course, tier 2 does not have a voice pack up here. That's why there's no voice pack thing. See, as you can see. So we have a new Chiron skin, which is he is a moose, and he's Canadian. And this skin has been around everywhere. I've seen pictures for this skin everywhere, and they finally made it done. And it's freaking. His arrows are maple leaves. I love this skin. I didn't even get to see it in the patch. This wasn't shown in the patch, and I still love the skin. So we'll go ahead. Just basic kind of mounty clothing and hat, and he's a moose wearing all of this with a bow and arms. And yeah, like there's not so much you could say about the skin. It's freaking hilarious. I'd love to see the effects. I haven't seen any of the effects, but we'll see.
The only Canuck you'll see for kilometers.
Oh my god. Oh, I love the skin already.
The only Canuck you'll see for kilometers.
They got a good voice pack there. I gotta give it to them. I really like this skin. So this is Constable Moosejaw Chiron. So as you can see, the next one is the Susanoo Mastery skins, and this card art is badass, and this skin is badass. It is so cool. These skins, they look so good on him. I really do like the new. I say it every time. The new Mastery designs work so well with gods like Susanoo and Amaterasu and Bellona and all of them, and Apollo and Artemis and all of them. It just looks so good. The sword looks really good in this. It's an amazing looking sword. It's just armor and stuff. I love the legendary. The diamond's pretty good. The gold is really good. I may end up just getting the gold because I like it, and I may end up choosing up the legendary if I start to like his support capabilities. I'm working on it right now as of now. But yeah, it's amazing skins. Love these new masteries. So as we go, we now have achievements because it's all of the skins in this patch. It's kind of a small patch because of DreamHack, but they have said that in 3.12 there's going to be something big, and that's going to probably include the mid-season update. They kind of said so. And I'll give my opinion on that at the end of the video. Don't let me forget. Don't let me forget. So, as we see achievements, Upwatch going to be rise my pretties, and as Upwatch release 100 zombies in one match. So level it, level your zombie surge, and spam. So basic Upwatch stuff, and then see corpses, aka landmines, as Upwatch blow up and hit an enemy with 6 corpses in one cast of corpse explosion. So corpse, explosion. Blow them up on somebody. It could be done. It's a little bit harder. That's going to be a higher level one. So Fefnar's got some achievements in this patch. It is Take That! As Fefnar slow or kill 3 enemy gods with a single use of his cursed strength. So basically, throw the axe at a throw the hammer at a team fight, and it's pretty good size, so you'll get the slow. As Fefnar boost all your enemies' power and attack speed in a single match using Course. So I don't think this is a one time. So basically, team fight. Everyone gather around the dragon. There we go. Now Fenrir, who's actually in the game, surprisingly, as Fenrir, have an ally kill an enemy god while he's being grabbed by Ragnarok. So grab a low enemy, and drag them back to your team and have them kill you before you drop out your ult. Kind of easy. At least the beast, as Fenrir stun at least 3 enemy targets in a single use of Unchain. Team fight. Team fight smartly. There you go. Cutesy Amuzen Cobb Avatar. We had the Neath one pop out, I think, last game. So they're doing a cutesy line of the god skin, the gods, and I like this art style. I'm not a big fan of Amuzen Cobb, so I know that a couple of my friends will probably look into this. Like track. He got on to me last time for not saying his name when I said something about Artemis. So cutesy Amuzen Cobb. Don't know how we're gonna get these though. So, okay, so there's a new escape menu on the PC. We don't really have that on the Xbox, so for console players, you don't have to worry about that too much. There's now in pop-up notifications when a friend /death notification when Smite is not in focus. PC only really changed their coupon system. This is going to be in beta, so this may or may not make it to the Xbox in one of their patches, but basically, if you buy one of these skins, you can, and you don't own like the voice pack or the god, I guess you could say, you will get this, I guess, a promo code to get like 50% off the voice pack or the god or whatever. And yeah, so yeah, that's a pretty good little thing that they said they've been trying to implement that. And we'll see how that goes. And the important thing, no coupons will be rewarded for things we set up, and flat, no automation, and have an internal cooldown that won't happen back to back. First round implementations we'll be watching. Okay. So we have some item changes. So we have Bloodforge reduced movement speed from 20 to 10% when the shield is active. Not a big change to Bloodforge. Not a lot of people use that little effect, but it is really strong. You go really fast with it. Excuse me, golly. Of course I'm yawning. So, Demonic Grip and Executioner both have been kind of dropped off the map lately because of Telkin's Rings and the nerfs to them, and Telkin's Ring being better in this group for Demonic, and Quinsize being better for Executioner. So basically, they're both getting a boost to their amount of shred they provide early on, and then their 4-stack is a little bit less shred. So it's 12, provides 12%, capping at 3 stacks, and 8% at the 4th stack, And so basically, if you're a hunter and you're building the new crit build, basically, or the pen power build, you're usually killing people in about 2 or 3 shots. This is to help that, and kind of give you, if you are shredding through a last target, to give kind of a tick, the 8% to that last target. So throwing dagger and golden bow have been so strong, especially as a guardian. It's a pain in the butt to go up against, because I try to interweave myself inside of the minion wave a little bit to reduce the damage I'm taking, which I'm then taking a lot more damage. Even if I'm standing out of the minion wave, I'm still taking that damage. So basically what they're doing, they're dropping the physical power on both items, 5 at golden bow and 10 on throwing dagger. Basically they're making it where golden bow is you kind of want to rush golden bow a little bit more because you're still getting 50 power. You're jumping from 15 to 50. A lot of power with that boost. But it's making throwing dagger still a good wave clearing tool, but not as like infuriating as it is right now with for some people like me. Okay, Mark of the Vanguard. This is one I'm not real sure about yet. So I use Mark of the Vanguard a lot actually. So basically what they have is you really didn't need the magical protections. Some Guardians, yeah, I would say early game that you'd want it. So, but they're changing it anyway. So they're removing the magical protections, like I just said, adding 5 more physical protections. So once it goes to 5 to 10, and it should still have its passive. Passive should be exactly the same. And then adding HP 5. Now I'm happy about the HP 5 because most of my builds are based around HP 5 and regenning. But this I'm not real sure about the magical protection loss. So we'll see how this affects it. Has been a lot of change to a lot of starters since Bluestone happened, so we could see a little bit of a change. I'm interested, like I said, I'm interested to see how this affects it. And especially for me at being a Guardian player, and I know sometimes this gets picked up in in a couple other lanes like solo lane, but mostly a Guardian starter for me, in my opinion. So going ahead. Moving on down, we have Soul Reaver, which is kind of a big thing for a lot of the mages nowadays because the extreme burstness. This is actually not a nerf, really. It is more of a kind of to help you out a little bit. So it updated the visual so you can kind of just see the red lines and you die, like it does. So it's easier to see, and then your passive damage is reduced. Now you're sitting there thinking, passive reduced? That sucks. That's a nerf. But it happened. The cooldown on it is now at 40 seconds. So you're sitting there now. You're now sitting there going, do I really want to use my ability on him and use my Soul Reaver, or do every 60 seconds? Now it's 40 seconds. You have it. It just does a little bit less burst. I think this is actually good for the item. I know people will argue with me here. Fang may probably argue with me here, but Soul Reaver is a pain in the ass to go up against with the percentage damage. And that's 10% still going to be a dick to go against, especially with me with my high. Usually I have some high HP on my thing, so if I get hit with ability procs the Soul Reaver with my teammates, it kind of hurts. So that may not hurt him as badly, but it's going to happen more often is the only problem with that. So it's kind of a nerf, but really not. So we'll go on and move down to God changes. So Ao Kuang is really strong still. I do not know why he's not getting play on Xbox. I went 13 and some odd with him the other day in an assault. It did really well. But he's still really good. But they're nerfing the Water Illusion's damage to make it a little less use on the offensive end, which I can kind of see, because he gives him a little bit too much damage. It's only a 20 damage drop at all ranks. Yes, and a 10% scaling debuff on it. So maybe make people realize a little bit more that you're not supposed to use the daggum thing to initiate, you're supposed to use it to escape. And the reason I say that is because no one uses it to escape but me. And Weaken, I learned it from Weaken. Thanks, Weaken! Okay, so next up we have Jingwei, fixed the thing about the explosive buff could miss an enemy at max range. Osiris! Next up we have Osiris. I like this because I like Osiris. I like him a lot. I like Osiris a lot. I'm just not great with him. I haven't played him much. I can't support Osiris is the thing. Yet. I may figure out a way. So, Judgment Tethers. Judgment Tethers, basically, you are now from... It used to be 18 seconds, now it's 15 seconds, basically. The reason for that is because, well, 18 seconds, and it doesn't go back on cooldown until after the effect is broken away, like if you break all the tethers, or the actual thing pops. Yeah, that's kind of a pain. Just gives him more opportunities to use in engagement, and it gives him the protection, reduced damage or whatever for actually using it. Kind of helps him use it instead of it used to be like 21 seconds for a cooldown if it went max time, instead of now it actually is 18 seconds, I guess, for the max cooldown if it goes all the way to time. So gives him just a little bit more of some tools. I'd like to see Osiris get a little bit more power to him because he is such a hard god to play. You don't see him in the younger metas right now, and I'd like to see something change a little bit. Maybe I wouldn't say damage wise, but maybe cooldown wise, to give him a little bit more oomph, give him a little bit more likability in other people's in the younger classes and stuff like that. So. We'll see. We'll see. I would like to, because Osiris kind of dropped off the map. He feels kind of balanced, but he's still really hard to use for the younger audiences, and not a lot of people use him. He's actually one of the gods that I give out in the swap games, and I've not. It hasn't been a swap to one person that knows how to play Osiris. So next up we have Ratataskers. Rat is still too strong. Too strong. So basically his Acorn gave him too much of heal. So what we're doing is the Acorn of Yggdrasil. I guess I'm saying that right. I hope. His passive, reduced healing from 20 to 15, kind of puts him on. Basically, what this does is reduced scaling from 40 to 30. So basically, puts him on par with the normal heals you see in like a solo lane, like Tyr, Quan, Hercules, if you don't hit him a whole lot, and then. Fixed the issue with Acorn Blast actually not, hitting, like, the bounding boxes were too big, so you would hit the stun a lot more often than it was supposed to, which that needs to be fixed on Xbox now, because I'm freaking done with that daggum stun. Susanoo! This wasn't in the patch notes either, but we're going to say he's pretty good. He's pretty good. I like him. But he does a little bit too much damage with a Storm Kata. I can see that. It shreds people really bad if you rush it. And the dash speed's reduced. I've actually learned that Storm Kata, you can combine Storm Kata and his grab, and literally you go on the controller for Xbox, it's XXAX, and you will, if you click it quick enough, you use you do the damage to them, and then you pull them and you dash through them at the same time. You literally switch places with them, which throws people off really bad. Actually, the first couple times I did it, it threw me off really bad. A couple times. So it's really cool. It's actually a good way to pull people into your team and surround them, is to do that. So because you're now in their way of getting out. So they updated the sound for the teleport and increased the cooldown of Jetstream when he teleports to enemies from 6 seconds to 8 seconds. This is still unaffected by cooldown reduction. Can't do that. So can't get any slower. Thanatos, Soul Reap, now giving him a little bit more damage on his Soul Reap, so it's a little bit, because of the freaking, I've noticed this before, because it takes a little bit to bring up the scythe and bring it back down, to wind up, I guess is what the word is for it. It takes a long time, and you usually get bursted pretty quickly when you do that, so late game, when you're doing that, it kind of gives you more, better, like, do it more often, I guess. You can do it more often and feel like you're actually getting something out of it. And now, this change to Ymir is hi, as it says right there. Hi. Hi. So, this change to Ymir is a little bit different. So now his passive, Frostbite, now when applied to an enemy, not only do this seems a little bit more like a Guardian ability. He used to, where you hit people, when you got a basic attack boost. Now, what happens is it makes anyone hit with frostbite do 10% less damage to all targets. So basically, if you get a good freeze off or any of your abilities that applies it, if you get the effect off on them, they're doing less damage, which makes it really good for Ymir and not good for his enemy team. This gives him a little bit more versatility and probably brings him back into the meta because he's been low lately, being that he's just, you use his kit so quickly and then you're out of things to do. So very interesting, very interesting change. Hope to see this really go forward with Ymir. I like Ymir. I'm not a huge fan of laning with him, but he's still a nice, he's a pretty cool god. And yeah, so that's basically the patch notes. Kind of a small one because of DreamHack. I know I'll be watching DreamHack. I wanna see who wins this. But yeah. Also, quick thing for anyone that watches this video and plays Xbox Smite. As you know, if you're watching this after the day of patch notes, if you're not watching this, then you might know that the console patch with clans is coming out on tomorrow morning, and Wombscat Gaming will be having their clan open up during that time as soon as I can get the patch downloaded, really. So we are open for applications, open for anyone there, but we have a kind of the set rules that we'll show you or we'll go by if you really want to join. But basically, Wombscat Gaming is not it's more of a community-based thing. We want it to be more pointed towards having fun with the game, getting better at the game, and making the Smite community less of what it's been lately. In that there are people giving up, there are people not trying, there are people just literally feeding, stuff like that. We don't want that, and just the pure rage in this community nowadays has changed completely from what we saw it in the beta, and we want to change that. We want to change this for the better. So I'm probably sounding a lot like Rain Day right now, but that's what we want out of this. We want to be like Rain Day gaming on the Rainstorm, but on the Xbox scene. So hope to see you guys join that, and I hope to see you guys in the next patch notes. See ya.